Well, I've been happily married for 23 years, and I've been blessed with three absolutely fantastic children. As for the business aspect of my life, the two main influences were my maternal grandfather, who had a huge real estate business with dozens of agents, and my father, who had the background from Loew's Theater and MGM, and he was also a manufacturer. Naturally, because of the Loew family background, the arts were always a huge part of our childhood, and being so close to New York City afforded many opportunities for us to be engaged with all the arts and in all its forms. My father passed away when I was 13, and having such a huge influence in your life gone can be pretty devastating. At that point, my grandfather, who was a first-generation immigrant, became my only paternal influence. He was uneducated in a traditional schooling sense, and I think he completed third grade. At that point, his mother said, "You've had enough schooling." So he was really extraordinary in a lot of ways. Not in formal education, of course, but his prowess at understanding the human condition was basically unparalleled. He was an extraordinarily successful man, and having accumulated millions of dollars by the late 1950s from absolutely nothing. I learned everything he had to offer. At 13, I was selling antiques and coins. At 15, I was canvassing leads for my grandfather's real estate office. And at 18, I was a broker. So after college, I did a short stint as a professional golfer, and I played in tournaments here in the States and overseas. And while it was exciting, and I did have a +2 handicap, it was not fulfilling. And I basically gravitated right back to my love, which was and is the art of selling and closing sales. This love has brought me all over the United States to help businesses close more sales, and I really feel blessed to have lived and worked or visited every state in the United States, because so many people live and die within 100 miles of where they were born. And you know, as a young child, one really never knows what is going to influence you and what words are going to be impactful. But as a young boy, someone told me that, 100-mile fact, and I thought it was kind of sad that there were people that did that, because it was such a big world out there. As a matter of fact, my children were born 5 years apart in 3 different states: California, New Jersey, and Illinois. And my wife still loves me, which is pretty lucky for me that she doesn't mind all the new adventures and the traveling. For the last 30 years, I have trained and counseled companies and individuals in the art of closing sales, from Fortune 500 companies to small sole proprietorships across basically every sector. What is constant is a love for the psychology of selling, the practical application of selling techniques, and the rush I get when ordinary salespeople become extraordinary. Living in and working in so many states may seem cumbersome to most, but I always view it as an opportunity to learn. For me, it's a way to gauge the commonalities in people, the regional differences, expectations and thought, and it brings me to a very insightful level of understanding of all of the selling process. And I think it's these differences and these juxtapositions that help me to achieve what I think is a Zen-like understanding of sales. One of the most important things to me in life and selling is empathy. And empathy allows you to feel what another person is feeling. It places your ego in a secondary position, which allows you to be open to new ideas, new thoughts, and in a practical business sense, it gives you the ability to know what prospects want to hear, what their expectations are during the sale. Being so intimately involved in the creative network over the years has allowed me to help businesses on a scale not possible before. When what you do gives businesses and medical practices such a boost in income, it really gives you a great feeling. It's like alchemy, creating gold from other substances, turning a 6-cylinder clunker into like a 12-cylinder Ferrari, running down the road at 200 miles an hour. It basically gives you an awesome feeling. And on a grander note, there's nothing like doing what you love that allows you to self-actualize, to be allowed to bring that one thing you do to the table for others and contribute in a meaningful way. It reminds me of that movie with Jack Palance and Billy Crystal, where Palance says, he's sitting on a rock and he puts his finger up like this and he says, that this one thing is the key to life. And of course he doesn't tell Billy Crystal what the one thing is because it's different for everybody. So I just think I'm pretty lucky to be able to do what I love.